I want to tell this town how much I love it. I came here useless, hopeless, just to wait to die. But the ocean sent out healing spray, and the very sand sent warm regard. And the people gathered round and said, "We understand. We've been there too. Welcome to our town. It is a town so beautiful, everyone thinks that it is theirs. Long ago, an Indian tribe claimed it as theirs each summer, until winter's harsh winds drove them up Cape, until spring drove them back into its beauty. Then hardy fishermen thought it was worth the trouble to build houses and make shelters and stay on, reaping the bounty from the sea. Soon poets, musicians, writers spread the word that here creativity abounds, and soon it was a Mecca for those who worshipped its sun, its moon, the breezes, cooling us in summer, stimulating in winter. The whole world behind us, left behind. Perhaps we realize that here, lost in nature's glories, we could be just what we wanted to be, whom we wanted to become. So we became more giving, more accepting. We welcomed strangers, took them in, until in summer our streets are crowded. In those crowds you can be whom you most desire. Just as the sea gave up its goods to keep the fishermen here, so nature contrived to keep imaginative, daring people here. Now I must worry a bit about our town. We want to say to the washer shores that join us, stay a little while, sit on the beach, allow yourself to be just one more entity. You might choose to be a sea worm, sliding under the sand as if you'd never been there. Or you might want to be a grain of sand, one grain worn down from the glorious stone you once were. One by one, we're small, but together we can build a dune. Here the brotherhood and sisterhood of man is strong. We learn to be a town where words and songs of love do not regard limitations, but give a stronger gift. We all have found the brilliant sunsets of Herring Cove, the serenity of Beach Forest, even the bustle of the dock. This is a place where we can belong. The winding street where you live, where you relax, the spot that lets the breeze carry away your worries, lets the sun bake out your sins, is home. The tiny grains of sand together building a dune can provide safety and strength to survive harsh winter storms and wind. We learn to use them, assimilate them, rise even stronger. There are many of us not strong enough to swim a mile, but as the summer ends, we all join in a swim for life, meant to support many good causes. It strengthens all of us as we join together, cementing the idea we have of each owning this precious land, this town of survivors, basking in the summer sun, gathering strength for whatever comes, to my town, your town, our town. There were many different things that brought me to Provincetown. I had just lost my husband. I'd been married 60 years and had never lived alone. And suddenly I was thrown out onto the world by myself. And I had a son that was willing to have me live with him for a while. He wanted to come to Provincetown for the summer. And I thought it would just be fun to slide along with him. So I came here thinking I probably wouldn't live very long anyway. I did not expect that I would live long without my husband. So I came to spend my last days here. Very little happened the first year. A friend I had met suggested that I ought to take a class or something. So I started this class that I thought was going to be about reading poetry. Turned out, to my great shock, that it was about writing poetry. After I started writing, I realized that I write differently than most people. People would say to me, how long did it take you to write that poem? And I'd say, well, I don't know, 10 minutes. They'd say, 10 minutes? I've been working on this one for a year. Because I believe that within each of us there is a writer. And sometimes we keep them hidden, sometimes we don't want to acknowledge them, sometimes we don't know they're there. I certainly didn't. But what I think is that I must be some kind of a supporter for something, somebody, somewhere. And these poems come to me. Mostly, I wake up in the morning and I have this pressure. Not a pain, not a urge exactly, but I just want to go over to the computer. And I sit down and boom, out it comes.